If you don't buy your weed from their state sakes and sellers, you will go to jail. If you share your weed with anybody else, you will go to jail. The moral of the story is if you have a medical marijuana card, he will fuck with you and put you in jail. Contact this motherfucker and say, fuck you, shove it up your ass. We're going to defund your ass and put you in prison for tyranny on the people! I'm sick of it! Wake up! Take your country back, damn it!
Hello, this is Sheriff Bill Prummell. Current state and Florida regulations now allow the use of some types of marijuana for designated medical purposes. However, Florida law requires documentation of a recommendation from a qualified physician and purchase through a registered dispensary. Any other use through any other means is not legal. And remember, Florida law does not allow anyone to share their marijuana used for medicinal purposes with anyone for any reason.
This is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and wow, I was on the news again, and this time it was on Wang News Talk Radio, 1530 in Inglewood, Florida, and my friends were calling me. I was working at the time. They're freaking out. They're calling. They're texting. I'm like, I finally looked at the phone. I'm freaking working a job. And I find out Charlotte County Sheriff Bill Prummell, the head Nazi himself, was on the radio, and almost the first thing out of his mouth is that it's bad that Charlotte. He didn't say it, but he said it's bad that there's certain people in town that are making a lot of Sunshine Law requests and/or FOIA requests, Freedom of Information Act. Both of them are your right, especially if you're a reporter like me. I've been doing this for 5 years. Everybody calls me a reporter here, and we've been getting tons of tips in. So I couldn't believe it. So I tried calling in. They wouldn't let me talk. My friend tried calling in. They wouldn't let him talk. Finally, a lady we know is way more cooler than we are, meaning not hot-headed, because we were pissed that he accused me of that. She got in, and she freaking made him look stupid. So like I said, Sunshine Law, they made Sunshine Law requests in Florida to prove that they are not corrupt. And now that this prick, I've been doing this for 5 years, I've been here for 5 years, there wasn't no cop watch before this. There was hardly anybody that knew that you can literally investigate the sheriff. In fact, one guy that I did know, I knew one of the deputies for 2 years. We absolutely hate each other now. He's literally threatened me that if I screw up his job, he will sue me. Because he told me so much corruption in those 2 years. Even one time when I asked him, I said, "Man, can we investigate you?" He flipped out. No, you can't do that. Right there, I knew at that moment that they were corrupt and they needed to be investigated, and that's when I started Charlotte County Cop Watch. So I'm going to play the radio clip for you. It is hilarious, and it is sad when he goes on the radio to say crap like this. That apparently that must mean we're getting a lot of good tips in. Because it is mind-blowing. The Patriot friends of mine here that fight corruption, they are shocked how much tips we're getting of corruption in on Charlotte County. If you follow my page, you know what I'm talking about. It's mind-blowing, all the stuff we're getting in. And all I'm doing is using what's my right. I'm a reporter. It's called Sunshine Law. You don't have to be a reporter. Sunshine Law request is a request you put in. You ask a question. You ask for a document, email, whatever. FOIA requests, the same thing. I highly recommend all you guys to do it and use it. You are under investigation by them every day. Who is policing the police? Are you? If nobody is policing your police, then they can get extremely out of control like they did here. Take a listen. It is unbelievable. He's freaking out because we're investigating them.
Earlier. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot that goes into the record keeping. There's a lot of laws behind the record keeping.
Oh, yes.
How long you got to keep stuff for, things that need redaction. And we're a public record state. We're open records laws and all that stuff. So we have to stay on top of that. And, it's unfortunate, but we do have some people in the community, in and around the community, and then we have them all over the nation that kind of abuse our public records laws to their own benefit.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's a shame. Because the information is there, but not to be used that way.
Yeah.
I've got to ask you, yesterday and today we're hearing on the news and everything about the school shootings. Oh, we've got several phone calls here this morning. You want to take a phone call?
Sure.
All right. We don't have a whole long. We've got about 3 minutes or so. Good morning. You're on the radio with Sheriff Bill Prummell.
Good morning, Sheriff. I believe you said something, I may have misheard it, something earlier, just a few minutes ago, about the public is abusing the public records system, or...
No, we have some groups out there that like to use the open public records laws to abuse, how do I say it? They're basically abusing my staff with some of their comments and requests they're making. And they're basically tying up a lot of staff time in filling these requests just because they're trying to... They're anti-law enforcement, anti-government, and they're trying to show that we're doing something we shouldn't be doing, and it just ties up a lot of staff. Actually, a year or so ago, I had to add another staff member to our records department just to be able to keep up with the requests just made by one particular group.
I think I know one of those groups, but I'd like to make a suggestion to help you all. I think it would be helpful if you would have a public class on how to make records requests so that they aren't too voluminous, because I know that of some people who they want decades of information all at once, and if they would learn to divide it into smaller segments, it would be easier on your staff. However, I think there's a trend in the public arena now that people are asking for public records at all levels of government because we want to know what's going on, and we want answers, and we don't necessarily trust the media viewpoint of everything that they print. So, we want to know what's going on. We want to know.
I completely understand that, and I'm all about transparency. We'll give people what they want when we're able to do it. But like I said, there are people out there who try to abuse that system.
Well, possibly you could help them learn how to make better requests, do it more efficiently.
This one particular group I'm talking about, there's no educating them or talking to them.
What group would that be?
It's a group that likes to call them, that likes to...
Do they have a name?
Yeah, they have a name, but I'm not going to give them the recognition.
Would it be Cop Watch?
Possibly.
Possibly. I think you could help that by just having a public service class for people who want to learn how to make better records requests.
Well, that's something to take into consideration.
Take 15 minutes or less for your staff to research.
All right. Well, thank you for your call. We're out of time here this morning.
Well, thank you, sir. I really enjoyed it.
And look forward to hearing more about the Sheriff's Department in the coming months here on the Morning Magazine.
He's been on our radar. These last two allegations we had were very alarming.
We begin at noon with breaking news from Charlotte County. A deputy out of a job and charged with perjury. 33-year-old Eric Ireland is accused of using law enforcement databases to stalk women.
According to the sheriff, Bill Prummell here at the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office, he has been the center of several internal affairs investigations. Several different complaints have been made against him on different occasions.
Mary Knowlton, a librarian, was mistakenly shot on Tuesday night during a shoot-don't-shoot police academy training exercise in Punta Gorda, Florida.
A police officer who was fired after a series of investigations is now fighting to get his job back. Harvey Ayers is now asking that his dismissal be reviewed. He was fired almost 2 weeks ago after a long list of reprimands and internal affairs investigations about leadership within the Punta Gorda Police Department. Officers accusing Chief Butch Arenal of playing favorites and being a bully. Tonight, 4 in Your Corner's John Rapolo showing you the results from this survey and questioning the chief about these accusations.
Well, Patrick, the survey results came out in December, and the 40 pages of feedback reveal the frustrations of the police force, more specifically, the patrol officers, just months before a female employee accused the chief of harassment.
This officer wanted to sick the dog on somebody, saw that this was his opportunity, and he did it.
This video of a Punta Gorda police officer releasing his canine on someone is raising questions tonight about whether it's an example of excessive force.
The complaint came in and it had no specific officer named or deputy named in the allegation. So what we did is we started an administrative inquiry to do some fact-finding into what was going on. Some of the allegations we were able to quickly address with regards to the inmate being forced to be nude. More serious allegation of the inmate being forced to eat his own feces, and we identified a potential subject officer.
Supposed to be a weekend in jail, but it ended with a funeral. Greg Ireland was in the medical wing of the Charlotte County Jail to detox from alcohol. He ended up being tased 9 times by deputies. All new tonight at 11, investigative reporter Lauren Sweeney explores potential mistakes by the jail's medical staff leading up to his death.
There was a lot of blood and all over the place. It wasn't natural causes.
A scene inside Charlotte County Jail's medical wing in August 2015 isn't one Robert Trigo is likely to forget.